Boxing truth here. Roman El Chocolatito Gonzalez, my Nicaraguan brother, is seeking bigger purses and main event status as he enters his third straight undercard bill under Gennady Golovkin this Saturday at the Forum against McWilliams Arroyo of Puerto Rico, a solid fighter. This will be Gonzalez's third straight top 10 opponent rated by Ring Magazine in the flyweight rankings. He's won titles at strawweight, junior flyweight, and now the flyweight division. He's yet to unify, which I'm hoping he will do following this fight with McWilliams Arroyo. Now, Roman is looking to put in a scintillating performance this Saturday. He needs one in order to get the ball rolling for the networks, the suits, and the promoters involved in the event to have further discussions in placing Gonzalez, should he win against Arroyo, on his own main event in order for Gonzalez to get more lucrative purses he feels he deserves now that he's considered the consensus number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So this is a very important stepping stone for Gonzalez. He needs to look good. He needs to put on a great display of his offensive firepower, a great performance like he's put in his previous two showcases on HBO. So, a lot riding on this fight. He has to look good so he can convince and HBO and to start backing putting a lot more support behind Gonzalez, not just feature him on as co-features, but put him in the main event, and also accomplish the very rare feat for a fighter below the featherweight division to get the very rare 7-figure purse as a flyweight. It doesn't happen too often in those divisions. It's just, in America, not a lot of people enjoy watching little guys fight, no matter how skillful or explosive they can be. For example, like Gonzalez or Michael Carbajal. But Michael Carbajal was the exception. Chocolatito's trying to get to that level. Carbajal was an American star, guided by Top Rank, and became the first, him and Roberto Gonzalez, in their rematch, to not only get 7-figure purses, they became the first flyweights to do that. Light flyweights, actually, 108-pounders. And also be a main event billing on a pay-per-view. So those guys were able to do it, so it's possible. But how do you do it, being that you're very small, under 5'5", and 112 pounds, and don't speak English like a Gonzalez? Well, there's two ways, and Gonzalez has both of them in his favor. He has the fighting style. He's got an exciting fighting style. He brings quality to the ring, quality wins, quality knockouts. He's a tremendous offensive fighter, beautiful to watch, combinations, constantly pivoting his opponents, turning his opponents, smashing them with straight rights, uppercuts, overhand rights, double hooks, triple hooks, pivots to the rights, hooks to the body. Does it constantly, but it's very effective. So he's got the fighting style, 44-0, 38 knockouts. But he also needs rivals. In order to marinate these fights, get 7-figure paydays as a flyweight. And he has that. He has the rematch with El Gallo, Juan Francisco and Estrada. That needs to be marinated a little bit more, and then maybe they could fight at the end of the year for a big payday on a main event billing. He also has Inu in the super flyweight division. That will also be a fight HBO is looking to build towards too, as Gonzalez is constantly featured on HBO and if he continues to win. So There's a bright future for Roman Gonzalez. Very bright. He's got the rivals, he's got the opponents, he's got the network, he's got the promoters backing him, getting him exposure on a big stage. His third straight co-feature on a Gennady Golovkin, and this may be the last time you will see the two consensus top pound-for-pound fighters in the world performing together on the same show, as Chocolatito's on the verge with a victory this Saturday as being his own main event fighter and getting the purses he feels he deserves. All he has to do is win this Saturday and win impressively. Now, as for the fight, a lot of writers and boxing media were excited about this matchup when it was first announced. I can see why. It will be a good action fight. There will be some fireworks being produced in the ring. Most likely you will see a knockout. Now, McWilliams Arroyo, not a bad fighter. Very good amateur pedigree. Has success at an international level. Made the Olympic team for Puerto Rico. He won gold at the 2009 World Championships. So he's had success at the highest stages at the amateur level. But this is professional box. Doesn't always mean that you're going to be successful as a pro. And he hasn't been that successful as a professional. Turned pro in 2010. 6 years in his career, he's only had 18 fights, 2 defeats. One of them was debatable against Runenrog, his only world title shot thus far in his career, and the only world-class fighter he's ever fought thus far in his career. Now, McWilliams Arroyo, he is dangerous. He's got a good left hook. That's his best punch. He's got power in that left hook. He can knock guys. I've seen him knock guys out with that left hook. I've seen him counter guys and create knockouts with that left hook. So Roman's got to be careful with that left hook because that's McWilliams Arroyo's biggest weapon. Now, the difference is the athleticism, the explosiveness, the combination punching, the footwork, the speed. This is what separates Gonzalez and McWilliams Arroyo. There's a difference in levels there in terms of speed, combination punches, explosiveness. Roman's just an overall better fighter. Now, he does have to watch out for the left hook, but Arroyo's just very basic. Comes forward, high guard. He fights hard. He doesn't really let his hands go. His fights in spurts sometimes. Throws wild overhand rights. He's very flat-footed. I just see it being easy pickings for Roman. He has to watch out for his hook, the counter punches. Arroyo possesses power, so he has a puncher's chance. 14 knockouts in 18 fights. But Roman's going to pick this boy apart. He's going to constantly turn him, pivot to the right, hook to the body, hook to the head, double hooks, triple hooks, jabs, straight right hands, uppercuts, left uppercuts, overhand rights, double hooks, pivot, throws body shots. He's going to constantly do that. Keep turning Arroyo because Arroyo's too flat-footed, too basic. And Gonzalez is going to keep pivoting to the right, landing the hook. Arroyo's going to throw a punch back. Gonzalez is going to slip it, throw a 1-2, then pivot again. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head, double hooks, overhand rights, uppercuts. That's just what Gonzalez does, and he's very effective. And he's a hell of a fighter, hell of an offensive arsenal. Throws every punch in the book, has a lot of fluidness to his combinations. He places his punches very well, changes the speeds. It's not always the same speed of punch going at you. So maybe the first 2 might be medium power, the last 2 might be full throttle of punches. And that's what's special about Gonzalez, his combination punching, his also not just standing there after he throws combination. He moves his head, he pivots to the right, he side steps. Doesn't stay in one place after he throws his combination. So when you're trying to get away from all those arsenal of punches and you punch back, he's not there. He pivots to your right and whacks you with a left hook to the body or to the head. Constantly does it. But very effective. Excellent fighter. He he's had a miss in his career at 108 pounds. He didn't fight Gonzalez. Perhaps that could be a future opponent this year. There have been discussions about that fight. I can see Gonzalez moving up in weight very soon because he's struggling like crazy to make 112 pounds. I could tell. He looks fat as hell before his training camps, and then he squeezes down to 112, constantly wearing a sauna suit. It's crazy. Like when you watch Gonzalez train, it's not entertaining to watch him train. It's just like, I don't know. He's the type of guy that just brings it out in the ring. It's when you watch him train, it's just if you was to watch him train and didn't know who he was, you'd be like, this is the number one pound fighter. But he's one of those guys that just doesn't look that impressive in the gym, brings it out in the ring. That's where he's at. That's where he brings out all his tools and potential. He's gonna make light work of a McWilliams Arroyo. Arroyo could make it interesting with his counter hooks. Does have a puncher's chance, but just too one-dimensional. Not enough of an offensive arsenal. He arguably beat Rummenrog, but Rummenrog is 36 years old, has no power, just not the type of athlete, not the type of explosion that Gonzalez possesses. Gonzalez is going to win this fight. I'm going for a mid-rounds knockout. Another impressive display of combinations, accuracy, and submitting Arroyo to a mid-rounds knockout. Gonzalez is on his way to perhaps getting that seven-figure payday he desires, becoming one of the handful of flyweights to accomplish that. I mean, Zhu Shiming's making more money than Gonzalez right now because of his market value in China. I think the biggest purse Gonzalez ever received was 200,000, 250,000, if I'm not mistaken. But he's well on his way. He's got the right support, the right network to help build him into a bigger star. He'll have his own main event. He's got his rivals. And we'll see. After this win over Arroyo, he should win. If the unification will happen next with Francisco Estrada. But Estrada hasn't fought yet this year, so maybe they'll get him a fight first, and then maybe Gonzalez could come back in 3 months, maybe get that fight with Donnie Nientes out of the way, and then a big unification fight at 112, the first unification fight for Roman Gonzalez, and will be a very highly anticipated and a very live dog in Juan Francisco Estrada. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.